The Lord is good, and His mercy endures forever. You are listening to Take 5 with Alex. What does God expect from me? Galatians 5 verse 22 to 25 lists the fruit of the Spirit: love, peace, joy, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It says, against such there is no law, and those who are Christ's have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. It says that those 9 characteristics are the fruit of the Spirit. If we are Christ's, we have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. I used to think that passions and desires meant things like lust, but I was wrong. Passions and desires are much more than that. They are all feelings that are not fruit of the Spirit. Hate, strife, anger, impatience, resentment, etc. These are characteristics which are not fruit of the Spirit. If someone does something to hurt me, my first reaction is to retaliate and hurt them back. Tell them how wrong their judgment is, ignore them, reject them. But those reactions are not fruit of a life that claims to be a Christian. These are not the reactions Jesus would have given. If I do react in a worldly way or in the flesh, I am just fueling the fire. I am giving the enemy ammunition to fight me. Matthew 5 verse 11 to 12. Blessed are you when they revile and persecute you and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Matthew 5 verse 44 to 48. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you, that you may be the sons of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet your brethren only, what do you do more than others? Do not even tax collectors do so? Therefore you shall be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. Those are strong words and not easy to follow. I would venture to say that in the flesh they are impossible. If you don't walk in the Spirit, how are you going to bless those who use and abuse you? I know that before I had walked quite a few miles with Jesus, I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it. It's not easy to love your enemies. How do you love someone who's close to you, who has ripped your heart to shreds? How don't you resent them and tell everyone how horrible they are and how badly they treated you? How do you lift up your head and focus your eyes on Jesus? How do you spread your wings and fly to rise above the circumstances? You just do. Because that is what Jesus would have done. That is what your Father expects from you. That is being righteous. And you have to do it out of your heart. You can't fake it or pretend to do it. It won't work. You remember that Jesus willingly laid down his life for you. He was tortured and beaten for you. You aren't being tortured or beaten. Well, not physically anyway. And you aren't being asked to lay down your life. You are just being asked nicely by the Creator of the universe to show love. I promise you that you can do it. And I also assure you that you will pick the fruit. Even if your circumstances don't change, the fruit that you bear as a result of the love you give is going to change everything. The way you look at other people and at life in general is going to change, and that is going to be worth the effort. You are going to sample a taste of what Jesus felt by being selfless. Do it. Do it for yourself. You won't be sorry.